Hello everyone. In our previous build, we did the part of the navbar and also the banner portion, and we connected with the Sanity CMS and we are started fetching data from the CMS. So today we're gonna start showing the product and other details. And now if you are new in this overall part of video in the e-commerce, then please roll back to the first one of that e-commerce website, and here in the first video you're gonna get that GitHub repository, so you can get it here from that. And now this is the repository. You will land it here if you are following through the particular address from the link, and also the link it will be in the description below for that part. So now today what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just clone that and I'm gonna show you how actually you can do it from your part also. And to initiate that one, let's just get that one, and I will copy this portion, and here I'm gonna open my terminal. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do, run a simple command to clone any of the repository from GitHub. It will be just git clone. Then you need to just paste that one in here. Now it will clone that project. If I put ls, you see his rebyt is available. So cd rebyt, and then I will open it in my code editor. As it opened, so what I'm gonna do, I will open my terminal, and here from the terminal you can use the power bash and any other PowerShell or other git bash or the module. I will just go with that git bash, and here I need to run a simple code that to install all the dependencies from the core, because remember, just you can see we have only public folder and in the source folder. Whenever you're gonna clone anything from the GitHub, the node modules actually we're not sending there. Remember, there is one .git ignore file by which we are ignoring all the file folder like .next and node modules, because that can be the large number of file and we don't want to push that in the GitHub. So we are ignoring those things. So right now we need to install all the dependencies, which is actually entitled here in the package.json. So everything we need to install from the core. So I will run my command because I'm using the yarn. I will just put that yarn, and now it will go and fetch all the dependencies and install here. Okay, everything looks perfect. So now here you need to do one more portion, is that remember there is one file which is .env, and here in the file you need to update some portion. So you may not get that Sanity API token or the project ID. So in the last video I already showed you how you can actually get that from the Sanity. So please do that and get these details from the Sanity, otherwise you will not connect within your project. So right now I already grabbed my previous things, so everything is good to go. I will just put that here, there, and I'm hoping for the best that it will start spinning. So now you see, don't forget to get that clone that one and put a star mark and just try to do whatever you feel better for you. So I will just close that repo, and now I will open my localhost 3000. So it's already compiling. Just give it a little bit of time for the first thing. It will, because it's gonna render prefetch everything from the core. And remember, just see if you are new on that build, just go through each and every file to understand what actually we did. And if you feel something to learn from the beginning, try to follow the video. Okay, so I will close that, and as you see, this is our landing page. It's still loading. Okay, now we have our banner, we have all the details here. If we want to go to the studio, you see it started spinning and it's just in the /studio. It's pretty cool to work with the Sanity. You can get so many things by free. Now if we just roll back to our products, you see so many products are available. So right now the first thing we need to do to create this portion, but before creating that I will do this 2 button here. Okay, we're gonna implement that one. So let's go back to our website, and here what I'm gonna do to take one more components, which I'm gonna name it will be like for that page button. You can give any name you want. I will just create the snippet to create a React component. Okay, and this one, it should be available in all the pages, so I need to get that one in my Remember, in the app I have a two folder, which for the admin, which is related to the Sanity, and I have another folder which is the user. So in the user, I will inject it inside the layout, so it will be available for all the pages. So under the never, I'm gonna inject that one here, so it will be page button. Okay, just I think, yeah, we give the name of the page a button, and we made a mistake here because we need to give the component letter should be always in capital, so it will be the page button. And here also we're gonna just modify this thing. Okay, page button, and now we will be able to get that one. Okay, if we save, it will be appearing somewhere here. You see the page button is available. So from this, we need to turn that one into these two remarkable button. So we're gonna create that one, and to implement that one, let's go inside that page button, and here we're gonna do the trick. So first thing first, that's the parent div, and under that div I'm gonna take another div, not actually one div, it should be within the two div. Okay, one for the card and another for the user. So first thing first, I will first do for the first one, which is for the profile one. And inside that div, in the first layer, what I'm gonna do to take the switch account, I need the two icons for these two particular things, one for the card and another for the profile. So this will be my first one for that switch account. So here I'm gonna get that, so it will be md switch account, and also I'm gonna put some class name on that, which gonna be text of 2xl to make it a little bit bigger. And then okay, just let's see if it's appearing or not. Okay, we actually can see it anywhere. So let's just try to modify the design pattern here. So here I'm gonna put some class name. I will make it in a fixed portion, and from the top it will be a 60, and from the right it's gonna be 2, and I'm gonna make it z at 20, and it will be flex in column, and also the gap going to be 2. And for the portion where actually in that particular div, I'm gonna put some class name also, and that class name gonna be similar for both of the components. So it's gonna be beige white, and width gonna be 16, and height I'm gonna just give it 70 pixel. You can combine the width and height the way you preferable. So rounded going to be md, and flex it will be in the column, of course, and the gap going to be 1, and the text going to be, for right now I will just put that primary color or the prime color. So let's see if it's appearing or not. What's happening here? Okay, I still can't see that one, so something is up. So where actually is that? The reason we may not see here, because remember we changed the page name, so still it's just coming with that forecasting for the smaller letter, so we can see nothing here. So right now you can see that is available right here. So now for the other portion, let's go in the top layer. I will just try to combine some of the color on it. So that's gonna be text prime color, and then we're gonna make it justify center, item center, and also I'm gonna make it the shadow of the text shadow, which we provide in the tailwind config.js. And then also we're gonna make the overflow x will be hidden, and I will make it as a group, and also the cursor going to be pointer. So after saving those portion, you see this coming with a good handy portion. And for the background color, I think a little bit dark, that one, so I will try to make it a bit of light color. Okay, so I will just put a dummy color on that. Okay, little bit lighter. Okay, that looks good. So now here, what I need to do actually after that portion, in this section, also I will try to combine something, but before that, I will take these things entirely inside a div. Okay, so it will be inside a div, and there should be two icons, and then also out of the div, I'm gonna having a text which is going to say me as the profile. Remember, there should be a multiple scenario, right? Once we just going to hover it, one icon will disappear, another will come, just giving this beautiful effect, and same along with the cart. So this effect we also need to make it ensure. So now we have those portions, so we need to make it be in a coming good portion. Here in this portion, what I'm gonna do, put a class name of flex, justify center, and item center. So now it's going to give me an alignment with that. Now for that, both of the icon, I'm gonna put some class name. First one is gonna be minus translate x, going to be a 12. Okay, and whenever I'm gonna make a hover on the group, the translate okay, group. Okay, I'll just go from the beginning. So first is the 12, and whenever I'm gonna make it group in hover, the translate x going to be just keep it I think 3, it will be enough, and transition going to be in the transform. Okay, and the duration going to be 200. So this similar portion of the class name also be applied here, but there will be some changes on the core, because whenever the translate x going to be first of that 3, and that 3 not it will be minus 3, and whenever gonna be hover, it gonna be translate x going to be 12. Okay, 12. Okay, let's hit the save, and you see, okay, that's cool, giving that effect. So now for the profile also, what I'm gonna do, put some class name on it, and that class name, the text going to be extra small, xx, and then font going to be the semi bold, and font just default font. Okay, that looks cool. So now this is my profile, and instead of keeping it as a div, I'm gonna put it in a link format, and href going to be just profile right now. Okay, looks fine. And also for the other portion also I can do the same. So what I'm gonna do, instead of keeping that link, I'm gonna take that link, and then I'm gonna paste it here. So let's see if I can have that too. Okay, that looks good. And instead of this profile, I'm gonna put that the cart icon. Okay, the cart icon, and that one gonna be return at oops, it will be buy now. I think that's the text we provided here. Yeah, buy now. Okay, so the card icon is available. So now we need to put one more thing, is that below on that p tag, and also before doing that one, I need to make this particular div as relative. Okay, so now I can combine the portion here. So below that p tag, I will take another p tag, and here, just for right now, I'm gonna pass the zero value and put a class name which gonna be absolute, and for the top it gonna be 1 from there, and the right going to be 2. bj, it will be the prime color, and text going to be the color of white, and text going to be extra small, and then I'm gonna give a manual width 4 and height 4, and also make it rounded full to make it a rounded portion. And then simple portion, item center, justify a center. Okay, and also I'm gonna just highlight the font, so it's gonna be semi bold. Hit the save. So after saving that, I believe you see the icon. So now this two button is working perfectly. So now what we need to do to create this perfect page shape, by creating that, because once we click on that particular page, we should be able to render in a Slack page. Okay, so now this two portion we are going to create. So I think this portion is done. Close the layout, and in the page we're gonna create the other thing. And by the way, for the page button, remember we need to modify here, because we will just keep it in the cart. So now here in the banner, like in the main portion, I'm going to create another folder, not the folder, in the file on the components. And that file, the name, it's going to be the name of new arrival.tsx. So this portion going to be rendering all the new arrival section. So now also I'm gonna pass that one here, which is going to be new arrival component. Okay, so right now we will going to be see that new arrival is evaporating here. As you see, that new arrival is appearing. So now we need to modify that one. And how actually we are going to forecast that one? See, there is some products, so there will be an array of products which is actually coming with that position of that new arrivals. So beforehand we already use one query for the banner query. What I'm gonna do to just copy that, okay, nothing else. I'm gonna copy that one, and then this banner query, so I'm not gonna keep it a banner query, it will be new arrival query. Okay, that's it. So how actually I'm gonna get the products from here? So let's go and start a query to see if we have any products which actually having the position of new arrivals. So let's roll back to our studio to see if we have that or not. Okay, it's compiling the studio. Okay, compiling is done. So if we go back to in the product, we can see all the products, but we're gonna go in that vision. So in the vision tab, we're gonna have to give the type for it. So this time it will not be the type of banner, but the type going to be our particular type of the product, which we have been created that one. And we're gonna pass another variable, which we're gonna get that position, and that position is equal to be that new arrivals. Okay, so now here I want to get everything from that. So let's fetch that one. As you see, I got all the new arrivals data. So you may have question from where actually I got the data. If we go in the product section and if we see in the particular any of the products, and now it will be available here with that all the product scenario data, and in that data you're gonna have one button here which is for the position of new arrivals. So we're gonna fetch all the products which actually having that position of new arrivals. Let's roll back to our website. And in the website, now we actually got that. So the type is gonna be the product, and the position is going to be new arrivals. Okay, so once I have these two things, what I want everything from there. Okay, so whatever is that, return back to me. Okay, so I want all the new arrival products to be appearing here. So now I need to just declare that one const new arrival products, and of course I will await, and I have the client, and from the client I'm gonna fetch that new arrival query. Okay, so now in the new arrival section, if I console log that one, you will see the data is available. I'm not gonna do that right now, so I'm gonna just a simple thing as the products, and in the products I'm gonna pass that new arrival products. So now I have all the new arrival products to be available there, which actually I can go and work with. So now let's go back to the new arrival section, and here I'm gonna go and catch those products. So that will be that products, and for right now to passing any error, I'm just putting any, but don't worry, we're gonna go and make all the particular things, all the class definition, we're gonna do it, don't worry about it. We're gonna do it right now, just give me a second. Okay, for that one, now as you see in the new arrival, actually there is it's not looks so good in that positioning. So what I'm gonna do to declare a container to put it in a specific design to render in a perfect way. So in the component, okay, what's actually happening here, I think I made some mistake. Okay, it's a new arrival. Okay, that's right. Okay, I'll just reload my, okay, what's happening? Okay, I'll just reload my window if actually I'm having an error or not. No, it's not an error, so we're good to go. Okay, So now what actually I'm going to do is that I'm going to create a like a container component. So let's roll back to the components. Here I'm going to create another file, which the name is going to be container.tsx RAFCE to create that React Native snippet. And here what I'm going to do is to get children and also that class name. And the children and class name, I will just pass the props of the value that what actually you're gonna pass. So interface, it's gonna be declaring as the props, and inside the props, the children, it's going to be React node, and for the class name, it's going to be a string. And now here I'm gonna pass that types as props. Okay, so error is gone. Now what actually you're gonna have inside our container? Of course, we're gonna pass everything within it as a children, and here we're gonna pass some class name with a backtick, and that class name for the max width is going to be screen axle, and mx auto to keep it inside the middle, and padding in y-axis is going to be 2, and px going to be 4, and lgpx going to be 0. So that's the default class name we are passing. What if we're gonna pass some more class name? Remember, we passed that class name variable, so I will pass that class name. So if we are passing any of the class name, it's gonna take that one, and also it's gonna take the existing class name. So in the new arrival section, we now actually declare that container here. So instead of that div, I'm gonna pass that container. Okay, and I need to make it the similar portion on that. Save the container, and after saving that, you're gonna see that your container is now entitling here. Now here you can see actually we are having an error. That error is coming because we told there should be children, we are passing the children, but also we said there should be class name. So now sometimes we may not need to send any class name. So what I'm gonna say now, just simply, if there is a class name, keep the class name, otherwise keep it as empty. Okay, for right now I will just give some class name on that. Class name should be minus empty of 60 to put it in the top. Okay, so we'll see. And now you cannot see anything. If I just try to make of the z of 20, maybe it's gonna appear. Okay, not appearing. Okay, anyway, don't worry about it. Okay, I'm gonna just keep it right now in that way, because whenever I'm gonna implementing that, you're gonna see it will make a sense. It will make a lot of sense. So now here I'm gonna take another div. Remember, we work with slider beforehand in this because that's the slider we created. So this here actually I didn't explain a bit that much, but when we're gonna create this particular slider, so I need to explain a lot of things here, otherwise you will not catch each and everything. So feel free to go to documentation for the React Slick slider or React Slick, because it's a very good combination to work with that. So right now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go and make it as a client component because I need to use that Slick slider, and that is a client-side application, otherwise I can't use it. So now here I will use that inside the div. I'm gonna use the slider, so it will be my slider. Okay, or before using the slider, I can make the products props, like I can actually map the products. Okay, I will just make the products to appear the products here. So remember, I have that products value. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just make that products dot map, and here I'm gonna declare the item, and for the item right now I'm gonna return a container, and that container also, not the container, the component, I'm gonna give the name as the single product. So product product.tsx, again keep that snippet. Okay, so I'm gonna return a particular product for that individual thing, so the product. Okay, and hit save. So now if I have some item in the array, I will see some, you see I have 4 products which are going to have that new arrival. It's only 4, but here how many I got? Yeah, it's only 4. Okay, I think it's more, it's not 4. or instead of new arrivals, we can put some other variable. We can put is the bestseller products, because this combination have more products, because here we need to put a slider, right? So what I'm gonna do, instead of getting this positioning of that new arrivals, because in the key of the bestseller products I have some more products, I will just render it here. Okay, so now if we get reloading, you see I have 6 products. So now it's good, we can see the scrolling properly. So now in the item, you see I'm getting an error for the item, but because this item can combine a lot of things, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna define the types that what the item actually contain. So first thing first, I'm gonna put a log, and inside that log, I'm gonna get that the products, all the available products of their title. Okay, so put in inspection, and that one actually going to have in the client side console, because I made it in a client component, and each of that particular product I have a body, brand, category, description, images. So right now I need to define the types for it, and in my root layer I'm going to define a file which going to be type.ts, and that will be my type definition file. So here I need to define the type. Okay, so in the type, what actually I'm gonna do, it will be export interface, and that interface I'm gonna define is as product. Okay, so that product, or actually instead of product I will just make it the name as other product props. So that product's going to have an ID, and that ID going to be a string. Or instead of typing that one from the core, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just be fetching all the things which actually gonna make sense. So now what actually I have, so my product contain several things. First thing first is going to have an ID, which is type of a string. As you see, if we are looking for some of the ID, you see is the type of the value of the string. And then I'm gonna have the type rev, and the created at price number, row price the number, title is string, position is string, ratings number, description is string, brand, the slag, and the slag is gonna having a 2 value, which one is going to be the current value, and the type it will be the slag. Now this slag I actually also can define it in a predefined way. And then I have the images, which the type is going to be string, the asset referring all are going to be string, and the category string value is new is the boolean value. Remember, it can be the new product or cannot be. And for the body, I just keep any, because there will be a lot of data in the body. You see a particular string of data for the key value, so many things need to be described, so I'll just avoiding to describing and killing the time. And then I'm gonna having the quantity, which is in number. So now I have that particular type, which is the product props. I can use that products props to define my type. So instead of that item putting any value, I'm gonna just put that product props. Okay, I didn't save that types, so I cannot access that. So now here it's gonna be product props, and you see the error is just disappear. So now here also for the type, like if I put that interface, which going to be props, and here the products going to be product props of array of product props, right? So now if we just put that props value, okay, what's happening, there is something here does not exist on the type of props. So this value, okay, now it's good. So this new arrival products is just combining 6 of that new arrival products, which is combining of the product props. So this one as an array of products, right? So we are passing that array as the props, and now this one passing that as the product props. It's simple, just you need to making a fetch decision and try to combine it with that. So right now what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna just take that inside a div, and then I'm gonna pass it, and now here in the div we're gonna give that key value. So put the class name, not the class name, I need to give the key, which gonna be item dot. Now I can access all the properties here and predefine type definition, so it's a very limited time to make something wrong. Okay, and the class name px going to be 2. Okay, so right now we're having the product. So inside the products, now we are going to inject the item. So the item and it's going to be product, and that product we are passing that entire item as the product. So as we are passing that item to the product, now we need to go inside the product and need to make all the things to be happen properly. So in the product, I will make it also in the variable, and then it's gonna be the product. And remember, now we need to make that similar fashion which we did that one for the array, because we are passing that product. So now let's define that interface, and that going to be the props. And inside that props, what we will define is that the product is going to be the product props. Okay, so it's going to be the product props, and here we're gonna pass that as the props. Okay, it's I think product. Okay, I just misspelled that one again. Okay, so what actually we are passing here, product. Okay, so we are passing the product, we are passing the product. Okay, so now we need to pour all the details and data inside that product. So first thing first, to implement all of those things, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just take an empty braces. Inside here, I'm gonna interject a lot of things. So first div, inside the div, I will take another div, and here I'm gonna take one more div, and within that div I'm gonna pass that image. And just to make you a bit of understanding and comfortable way of the designing, remember we have that entire product, and this is one div for the image, there is another div for the text, and these two rolling up within that section of the div of the image. So these two button, it will be combining with the image portion. So we're gonna have actually pretty much 3 div within that apparent div. Not the 3, actually it's going to be the 2 div, so to implement all the other amplifier. So let's roll back there, let's see what actually we can create. So in the link, of course, we're gonna make the href. For right now, I'll just combine it here, and here we are going to generate our image. To implement the image, let's import the image from the next image. And here I'm gonna put that source. Remember, we make an helper function in the utils, which is the URL for, and here we're gonna pass that product dot, it will be product dot image, and then we need to get that URL. Okay, so now we are going to get the products from that URL, and also we need to put an alt tag, so which going to be, I think, yeah, it's going to be the URL for, then the product.image, and then we are prefetching the URL. Okay, put some alt tag, and that it will be the product image. I want that image to be clear, so I will give a width of 700 and height of 700. Let's hit the save button and see if we can see any available product. Okay, you see that's a big bunch of product is appearing here. So right now we can see the product is available, right? And also the everything is working smoothly. And now before going further, I will put a class name. I will just define that with the height of 72, width of 72, height 72, object contain. Okay, so now my image going to be looks little bit better. And also in the top, I'm gonna just put some class name on that. Then I'm gonna implement that actually those slider here. So the class name width going to be a full, and I will make it as relative, and also it will be group, and then border it going to be 1 pixel, and the border it will be black. Okay, border black, and hover shadow it going to be LG, and then the duration I'm gonna give it as 200, and okay, hover shadow is gonna be LG, but normal shadow I will also want to provide a shadow of the normal. So the shadow going to be just put a gray of 500. Okay, and then for the overflow I'll make it as hidden, and also I'm gonna make it as group just to put it in a combination. Okay, so now, and also for the another div portion, you see that actually looks good, it's working. So before going further, I'm gonna just enclose it here in a bit. Okay, what's actually wrong with it? Nothing wrong, it's just an silly error, because sometimes it's giving with that network issue, because if you just reload the window, it's just going to be disappear. So don't worry about it. Okay, so now instead of going through all the details on that particular seg, what I'm gonna do to declare my slider, because I have the details here, now I can bring the sliders here to show you this particular design, then I will implement the other portion. So let's go to rollback to keep the slider. Okay, so here it's going to be a slider. Okay, now that slider by default going to take a parameter which is going to be the class name, not the class name, oops, it will be the of the settings actually. So we need to define the setting here. So const, it's going to be settings, and now we need to define the settings. So right now what actually you're going to define, it will be that we want to make that infinite loop. So in infinite, it's going to be true, and I can actually pass the variable which actually we want, and infinite true, then the speed going to be a 500. And then now here I want to just focus two things. So one is that particular thing is that how many slides we want to show in particular tab. With the slides to show going to be 4 and slides to scroll going to be 1, and there should be two more things which is actually for the arrow. I'm gonna keep it later on. For right now I will put that responsiveness, so it will be responsive. So I will combine the responsiveness, oops, it will be an array of things. Now in the responsiveness, I'll just define the breakpoints and I'm gonna pass it here. So that's the breakpoints it's gonna work. So that's like whenever it's in the bigger devices is 1025, this it will show the a number of 3. Now here is showing the 4, but in the little bit smaller from the 1025, so 770 to 1025, it will show the 2 slides, and slide to scroll is 1, and for the 769 2 slide, and for the 480 for small devices it will be just 1 particular slide. Okay, so now what we need to do is to pass that slider settings here. So it will be ... settings. Okay, we pass the settings here. So now if we hit the save, as you see, we are having a perfect combination of this position. Now if we click in the previous, you see that looks good, it's working fine. So now these two buttons, it should not be like that, it should be like that, right? So to combine that one like this way, we need to define two particular parameters. But before doing that, we need to take two more components. So the one component is going to be it will be next arrow.tsx rafce. Okay, and the second one it's going to be prev arrow. Okay, it will be prev arrow.tsx rafce. So we'll go with one by one. Let's go to the next arrow, and in the next arrow, where is the next arrow? Is here. Okay, next arrow. Now in the next arrow, we're gonna take the props. Remember, is the action is coming through from the props, and also we need to have one icon. So I will get that icon here, and this one const on click, because we are getting one function from there to having a click event, and that function is passing up from the props. Now what actually going to happen in here, I'm gonna pass an span tag, and inside that span tag I'm gonna get that far long arrow right. Okay, and now whenever I'm gonna click on that particular button, it's gonna give me that on click event. Okay, so now if I just, okay, what's happening now, it's going to be on click. Okay, what we, oh okay, it's just a smaller letter. Okay, one click. Okay, right now I have the next arrow, but I still cannot see that because I need to import it here. So after that, I'm gonna get that next arrow, and that next arrow it's gonna be the next arrow, and for the prev arrow it's going to be prev arrow. So now the arrow should be appear in one portion. Okay, let's see. Okay, what's happening? Let's see the error. Okay, components class functioning on object. You like to forget exported component from the file is defined. Okay, let's see what actually we define next arrow and a prev arrow. Okay. Yeah, it's defined properly. What's wrong with that? Next arrow and the prev arrow. Okay. And inside the next arrow, we miss something, which we are going to defining that export default next arrow and giving passing that on click value. Okay, and the span tag. I think the error is I didn't save that one here. Yeah, we just create the component, but we didn't save it. I think that's the thing is causing me the problem. So now let's go back here. As you see, we are having one button here, which is actually for the next arrow. So now I'm gonna get put the class name here. So in that particular div, let's put some class name, and width going to be 14 and height going to be 14, and rounded going to be full, and the text it will be white, not the wrap, it will be white, and bj it will be black. Okay, and bj opacity, let's give it as 40, and whenever you're gonna hover, bj opacity going to be 100. Okay, and now the duration for that particular period going to be 300. Cursor going to be the pointer, and I'm gonna make it a flex. Item center, justify center, z of 10, and then absolute, and from the top it just going to be laid down of that 35%. Okay, that's it. So let's see. You see, it's already existing here, but it should not be here, right? And how actually we can combine here? After giving the top, we need to also define the right position. So the right is going to be 2. Okay, so it will be coming here, as you see. Okay, that's perfect. I think that's the simple things also we created for that. Okay, so now we have that portion. So what I'm gonna do for that span tag, let's put some class name. The text going to be Excel. Okay, so now I'm gonna also roll back those things and going to take for my next component. So not the next, for the prev component. So I will just paste it here, and in the prev component, let's just combine those all things. So it's going to be as props, and the props going to be in any props, and here instead of I think instead of left, sorry, instead of right, I'm gonna pass that left icon. Okay, so that's the icon, and I need to pass that icon here. Now instead keeping that right here, what I need to do just to keep it as left too. Okay, okay, now that looks perfect. So also I need to do one more thing. I will just close this container and other portion, next arrow, and okay, for the, I think I need to work a bit in the page, not the page, in the new arrival section, where I need to define a little bit the okay, that's the portion I think in the container actually I was looking for to work, and it will be minus empty of 60 to pull that in the top level. As you see, now it's actually fitting with the position. Okay, so now what I need to do is to clear up and make something to make my product looks perfect. So to implement that one, let's roll back to the product, and here as I did in that portion, so let's go and put some class name. The width going to be full, and height I want to keep it as 8, make it a flex, item center, justify center, and bj is going to be white. Okay, let's see. Yeah, that looks perfect. So now as we have been done, Now I need to get to implement to up the cart, right? So it will be showing the cart here. So that's the div combining to finish the image with a particular link, and below that image I need to implement that. Okay, so there's the link I finish here. I'm gonna take another div here, and there I'm gonna have one button. That button gonna say add to back. Okay, so that will be one button, and also we need to have another button for the quick view. So for right now, instead of giving the button, I will just put that link name. Okay, and the href I'm gonna just combining here right now in that way. And inside that button I need to pouring like, instead of putting that one directly here, I'm gonna take an span tag, and here it will be outline. Okay, I need to get two more. Did I get the icon? No, I didn't get it yet. So I need to get two icons, one for the, okay, I need to have these two icons here. Actually not two icons, I need several icons. I think it will be altogether 3 icons. Okay, so now first it will be AI outline shopping. Okay, that's the icon, because we are going to create those portion right now. Okay, so AI outline shopping, and after that span tag I'm gonna put my add to back. Let's hit the save. So after hitting the save, did you see that? Okay, that's available, we can see in the bottom. And before combining that, let's just make that footer portion, because it's not looks good to see all the page bottom there. So tsx rafce, so the footer, and that footer also we need to inject in our layout. So the footer, so the footer is gonna be just a simple thing, so I am not going to just take a bit of time with that to explain. It's a simple design, so you can figure it out just defining with some of the class names. So I will just get the import of that particular things and also the icons, and that's it. So that's the footer. Okay, I think it will appear. Yeah, that's the simple footer I created with my icon and other things. It's a simple design, you can figure it out how actually that design created. Okay, so the footer done. Now what I need to do is to work in the product. So now in the product, as you see, I have that add to bag icon. So now here I need to make something to look it's a much more perfect way. So first thing first, I'm gonna design that link parameter button. So the class name is gonna be bj gray of 800. Okay, I will just shrink it here down, bj gray of 800, and then the text gray of 200. Okay, the padding in x-axis is going to be a 4, and padding in y going to be 2, and the text going to be extra small and also rounded full, flex item center, and the gap should be 1 from the text to the icon, and hover bj gray of 950, and hover text going to be white, and the duration going to be 200. Okay, so now we will be able to see, you see, add to bag is actually here and it looks cool. So we are going to have not one, particularly 2 button. One, it will be the add to bag, and another it will be that quick view. So it will be bs arrows full screen, and that's going to be named as quick view. Okay, so we're going to have 2 icon, and you see, so both going to be appearing now. Okay, this is stacked together because remember in the parent we make that overflow hidden somewhere. So yeah, we cannot see. If we just remove that one, you can see both icon flourishing together. Okay, I think okay, let's keep it in that way. Okay, quick view. So now what I'm gonna do in the top layer on that particular div, in that layer, I'm gonna make it a class name. First thing first, I'm gonna make it as an absolute. Okay, from the bottom it's gonna be 0 flex item center. Okay, and the gap going to be 5. Okay, now you see that looks good. Okay, and also to make it a little bit perfect, I'm gonna make it also justify between. Maybe it's gonna push that through together. Okay, is that what actually we did before? No, it's actually not together. It's just justify center. Okay, yeah, that looks good. So now first, how actually we want that to be appearing. Okay, so first translates y, it's going to be in the 10110%, and that person is going to be as okay, translate y of 110 to just go out of that particular div. See, it's not showing anymore. And now what we want in the group, whenever we're gonna hover, the translate y going to be 2. Okay, and the transition would be transform, and the duration going to be 300. Okay, so now if we hover any of the product, you see that's actually coming in a proper handy way, but we need to make some more design parameter to actually make it work. Okay, I think it should be, or translate y, it will be -2 maybe. Okay, let's put some -2, so it will be changed a bit. Yeah, -2, not actually the 2. And I think, yeah, that much was the parameter. Okay, so it's hit the purposes. Now there will be one more thing, so we will just unclose that particular tab. Okay, so after that tab we will get another div, not on that. Here we're gonna take another div. So now we will take one more portion. So this portion going to take is the product. If our product is new item, oops, is new, then we're gonna we want to show something there. We're gonna pass a div, and inside that div we're gonna just put that what's actually want. We want a p tag, and that p tag going to say new. If it's a new item, it's gonna forecast as new. But let's see if any of our item is new or not. So let's to make some items is new, so actually it's gonna appearing on that particular tab. Okay, here is our product. So let's go with that mouse. Okay, that's the mouse. So let's see if the boolean value is true or not, if it is new or not. Okay, actually it's new. Yeah, it's new, is available for that particular product. Okay, so it should appear somewhere. Okay, so let's go there. And now, so if product is new, it should give that design. So put a class name, make it absolute, and from the top it's going to be 2, and from the right going to be 2. Okay, is it showing? No, we can't see yet. Why is actually not showing? Okay, just make a log and see. Oops, it will be log products. Let's make the inspect. Okay, in the product, if we see is new, yeah, it's new, is true, so it should appear. Okay, so instead of keeping that one here in that, I want to keep inside that div. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna roll it in one more layer, and let's see if we can see right now. Okay, still we can't see. So we made that one in absolute. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put a class name of here. I'm gonna make that div as relative. Okay, let's see if we can still, we can't see that. Okay, what's happening? And even, okay, even here also you can see what's wrong with that. Let's see. Okay, first for that particular p tag, what I'm gonna do, just get some class name because it's getting delay with that things. So I'll just pull back here, just giving some classes and other things, nothing more. Okay, let's hit okay. Okay, instead of keeping here, what if I will interject here inside that image? Is it showing? No. I think I find the problem here. C is new. Actually, is not is new. It should be in a smaller letter. Okay, and that's what's happening with our types also. So in the type.ts, actually this combination is not is new. It should be capital, smaller is new. Okay, so if I save that one, so now it's gonna give me that perfect blending. You see, now we can see that is new is available. Okay, that's only for the type C. The type definition, sometimes if you mislead in the type definition, sometimes it can give you some confusion of declaring the error or some other things. So right now we are having those is new items, so we are almost good to go. So now here, actually this one right now not actually not needable, because later on we're gonna implement a toaster. I think, yeah, right now this interject is not needing. So now after that particular div, so before the last div, we need to pass that a text format. So I will take another div here, and here I'm gonna pass all other parameter like for the text and more details. So I will take one more div here, and inside that div I'm gonna put one h2 tag, and here I'm gonna pass that product dot title. So let's hit the save, and you will see the title here appearing. Okay, you see the title. Okay, now you see that's the overflow. I need to restrict here not to be seen anywhere. So what I'm gonna do in that particular tab, okay, not here actually, or also I can define it here. Okay, that's the same portion. I don't want any overflow also from the parent and also from that sub parent here. Okay, so the overflow should be hidden, and you see now only that portion is coming. So now inside that div I can make some more design here. So let's put some class name. Okay, that class name, the max width it's gonna be 80. Okay, and the padding y it's going to be 6. Flex it's gonna be in a column portion, and the gap going to be 1, and padding in x-axis going to be 4. Okay, so now you see there is a bit of a gapping, and its combination is going to be good. And now in that particular div, what I'm gonna do is that, so it's just I am focusing to get the title. So let's put some design on the title. Class name, the text going to be large text, and the text going to be a prime color, and the font going to be bold. Okay, so now this text can be more, so I want to limit that one here. So I will make that as a substring, and in the substring what I'm gonna do, I want it from 0 to max 15 character. Okay, so now let's see if we have, okay, we have also the price section here. So that's the one div which actually I'm combining here. So now what I will do is to take another div within that div, and then I'm gonna pass that p tag, and in the p tag I'm gonna get that product dot which is going to give me the raw price. Okay, and I will just pass an $sign. Okay, so now you see that's the value I'm getting for that. And also I'm gonna get another portion here in that particular layer, so that portion going to give me that product dot price. Okay, price. Now I have two initial div. One is the raw price not discounted, another is the discounted price. So let's go in the top layer. Here I'm gonna make a flex item center justify between a font. Okay, font is good. Okay, so now on that particular div, I need to make some class name, and here again it's going to be flex item center and the gap going to be 2. Okay, looks good. Now in that particular, the first one, what I will do is to make some class name on that. So that text for the row price, the text going to be, let's give some color combination 7676. Okay, and text going to be extra small and it will be line through. Okay, looks perfect. And now for the second text, which going to be class name and font, it will be semi-bold. Okay, that looks cool. Okay, and then after finishing that particular era, so now what I need to do is that clicking the next section, which is the product by company name, and then the I think the ratings. Okay, so now after that div, not in that initial div, so this the finishing the first line of that. So in the second div, I'm gonna take one more div layer, and here I'm gonna take a p tag where I'm gonna write a product by, and then I'm gonna make an span tag, and here I need to define that product dot brand. Okay, so now for in the top layer for that p tag, put a class name and the text again, that the defined text we did before 7676, and then the text going to be base. Okay, now you see that's appearing. Or instead of text base, you just, okay, I will just give one default of that 14px. Let's see how the text is combining. Okay, yeah, that's good, small text. Or what actually we can put sm, small text. That's the similar. So now for that company name, I need to emphasize on that one. So class name, font it gonna be semi-bold, and text going to be prime color. Okay, now it's highlighted. So after that p tag, I need to pass that rating hallmark. So I will take one more div, and here I'm gonna take that MD outline purple 500 for that star mark. Put a class name. Oops, it will be class name, and here the text going to be LG and the text going to be YOLO 500. Okay, and now also I will put one more span tag, and here I will define that product dot ratings. So how much ratings we get, we also want to highlight it here. So where is my text definition? Okay, it's already appearing here. So now in the top layer, first thing first, I'm gonna put that class name flex item center justify between, and now in that particular div layer section, put a class name which going to be a flex item center and the gap going to be 1, and also for the span tag, put some class name of font medium, and then text going to be small sm. Okay, so now you see our particular card product looks good, and we can do one more thing, is that to make a little bit around the shaping. So here on that, which will be rounded MD, to give a pure effect on that rounding. Okay, looks good. So now after that section, we are going to have one more section which is handling as the banner portion. And to implement that, let's create one more component. So I'm gonna close all other things. Now in the components, I'm gonna make that as, oops, it will be home banner.tsx rafce. So now that home banner, we can just define it in manually from the local, because for one single banner, you know how to create that. So you can just by simply what you can do is that take a challenge and to go to in your schema, in the Sanity schema, then create one schema for the home banner, and then you can create your own banner. Okay, it's simple to create a banner. So now let's go to our home banner. Here I will take one image here, that image I already having available in my asset. As you see, that's the banner 1. So I will just want to show that banner here. So now what I'm gonna do is to import that banner img from, and it will be from the assets, and that going to be banner 1 image. So inside that particular div, I will just take that image tag, and image should be coming from the next image. And here in the source, I will just define that banner image, and also tag it will be the banner image. Oops, banner image. And for the class name, width full and height full. Just I'm gonna give a default value for the things is happening. Okay, let's see if it's actually rendering or not. Okay, our banner is available. Now you can do one more thing. You can put inside the container, or you can just keep it as simple as like that way. So now this portion is done. So we need to go through with our bestseller and also the special offers. And to create and prefetch this particular things, let's go back to our page, and here we're gonna do the trick. So first thing first, we are going to having that new arrival products. Remember, we changed the products duration on that. So that's the things we have been done. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create all of my other 2 properties. So one I'm gonna having that bestseller and a special offer. Okay, so now these 2 parameter I'm going to combine. Okay, one going to be the bestseller query, another going to be special offers query, and you will just combine that one in that way. Okay, so now as I'm having that, I'm also going to be declaring that products in that way. So that will be my forecasting for category. Okay, so right now in here, instead of that bestsellers, what's actually I want to pass that particular call as new arrivals. But here in that particular bestseller, what I'm gonna pass in the new arrival products, I'm gonna pass that new arrivals query. Okay, I think it will do the trick. Okay, okay, let's see if still we're having that 6 product or not. No, we are having that 4 products. Okay, either we can change, you can go and change that, but for right now, what I will do, I will just get that bestseller query here and to put it in that way. Okay, so that's the bestseller query I'm gonna pass, and here I'm gonna pass that new arrival query, just to keep the proportion in a good way. You can now go and change the sanity positioning, and then you're gonna find the perfect match on that. Okay, okay, now what's happening? Did I just mismatch something? Okay, what's wrong with that? Grok type product and position new arrivals. Okay, maybe I typed something wrong. No, it's okay, fine. So now we need to create one more component, and that component name going to be for that is that best sellers.tsx RAFCE. And now here what's we gonna do, I'm gonna call it in after that home banner, and here I'm gonna pass that best sellers component. And now also for the products, okay, for the products I'm gonna pass that one as new arrival products. Okay, or just to give that bestseller products. Okay, that's it. So now in the bestseller, let's go inside the bestseller, and okay, bestseller is available or not? Yeah, that's appearing in the bottom. So now let's scroll back to the bestseller. Instead of that particular div, I will take that container from the container. Okay, and inside the container now I will take one heading tag. Okay, so here we're gonna define the title. So first thing first, I'm gonna create that heading. So let's go in the component and gonna take that heading.tsx RAFCE, and that heading we are creating, actually that's the heading of those heading. Okay, it's gonna change the name only, but the things it's gonna be simple. So for that heading, we're gonna take two parameter, which going to be taking the, I think, the text and heading and class name. So it will take that heading and that the class name. And for that, I will just define the direct in the line. So for the heading, it's going to be a string, and for the class name, if available, then it's going to be a string. That's it. So now here in the heading, we will inject that class name, and also not the class name, actually we're gonna inject that heading. Okay, or we can actually pass it as a p tag, but I'm gonna just keep it in a simple way, or passing the p tag. That looks perfect. So the class name, and using the backtick, the text going to be 3XL, and font going to be semi bold, and padding bottom going to be 6. And if we are passing any of the class name, it will just take back the class name together. So let's roll back to the container. Remember, after the container, we need to do the things. So here we're gonna give that heading from the heading, and in the heading title going to be we need to pass the title. Okay, let's see what actually we are passing. Actually we can pass the title from the parent. Okay, so we will know that which product we are passing where. So we're gonna passing the title here, which is going to be our best sellers. Okay, so now here actually we can combine that title, and we can fetch the title here. So two things we will actually going to get here. One is the products, one is the title. So that's the products, which the products we are passing, and we are passing the title. Okay, now the heading, it will take that the title we are passing, title. Okay, let's roll back our application, and you see the title is appearing. So now here we're gonna define some of the props. So it will be interface, and then the props, and the products, it will be products props, and the title, if the title is there, it's going to be string. Okay, so now here we'll pass the props. Okay, not the title on the heading. Okay, what is heading is string undefinable. Let's go back to the heading, heading. So if the heading is available, then only. If not available, it's okay. So now in the container, let's put something of that. So the width going to be full, and padding bottom, I will just keep that as 20. And after the heading, remember, I will keep a div, and then I will put that products.map, where I'm gonna define that product, and then I'm gonna just pass that product here, not from the schema, product from the product component. And here the key, it's going to be okay, it's going to be item dot okay, that's product prop should not be there, remember. So what you're gonna say, interface, it will be item, and that item going to be like for the products, it will be product props. So now instead of products props, we can just pass that item. Or what actually, yeah, this oops, yeah, that's my bad, because this products props actually having an array of the products. Okay, that's my bad. Okay, so the item.id going to be available here, and we need to pass the product. So the product going to be item. Okay, and also actually we can pass the background color, because so in that way we can combine the background, that whatever background we are passing. So for that, I'm gonna give a white background here. Okay, so now we are going to roll back the product here. As you see in the bestseller, it should appear it should appear in the product. Okay, you see our bestseller products is available. So right now what I'm gonna do, in the class name I will make the weight of full, the weight we are giving. By default it will be grade, and the grid value should be grid calls should be 1, and MD grid calls going to be 2, and LGL or LG screen, the grid calls should be 3. Okay, or not in actual in LG. What I'm gonna do is just in Excel devices, I'll just make it grid calls of 4, or I'll just keep it in that simple way. You can predefine the way you want. So an Excel devices grid call of 4, and the gap going to be 5. Okay, now let's see after implementing the design how actually is looking. Okay, grading is working perfectly. Okay, look nice. Okay, that's good. So now what actually we can do, we can pass that value as the background color if you want to pass, or we can pass any the other. Now what actually going to happen once we pass the BG color? Okay, so now we will give a BG color, or let's say white. Okay, but the opacity of 20. Okay, so that's the color we want to pass. So let's roll back to the product to see how actually we can implement that color. So in the product we will also going to get the background color, and that BG going to be string. So now here, where actually you want to pass the color, we want to pass the color here in the link portion. So okay, so in the image portion actually, and we will get that as background. So we're going to have an image background. Okay, it will not interject here because it's gonna be like, let's put black color. Okay, that image is getting the full color, so I'll just keep it in white. It just to I think also we implement that one in that way. Okay, that's the white color, not a big deal. So now we have that portion. So what actually you need to do to implement the latter one is that to give that product of the year. Okay, let's go and grab that. So what I'm gonna do is to create one more component here. Not the component, oops, it will be one more file inside the component, and that will be year product.tsx rafce. So in the year product, what's actually inside the div, I need to pass the container. Okay, because that will give the full resolution of the container. And here I'm gonna get an image, and that image going to be having a source, and I have another image there. So import product of the year from, of course it's going to be from the assets, and here is the product of the year. Okay, so now here as the source, it will be a product of the year, and I'll take product, and I will pass the class name here, and that class name gonna define the complexity of how I want to show that particular tab. And the weight going to be full, height going to be full, and also object should be cover, and then by default it's gonna be hidden. Only MD it will be inline block. Let's hit the save and see if anything is appearing here in our tab. Okay, nothing yet, nothing so far. Just give it a time, maybe it's gonna, or I will just hit reload. Of course it will not be seen here because we didn't import here. Okay, I will just close the bestseller. I need to import it here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna copy this bestseller down here, and here I'm gonna pass that year product, and for that particular product on the bottom I will pass that special offer products, and I'm gonna name that special offers. Special offers. Okay, So now hit the save. I think it will roll back and give us the things. You see the image is appearing and other properties is look so good, so it's cool. So now what actually happening with the image? Okay, it should comparing all the properties. So let's roll back to our year product, and in the top layer put some class name on it. We're gonna make that one to looks like the other one. So here width going to be full, and the background color I'm gonna give the same background color, which going to be F3. Okay, now you will combine that. This going to be interlinked all together. Okay, that looks sick. So now in that container, I will, after the image, I'm gonna have another div, and inside that div I'm gonna having one h1 tag, and this h1 tag will combine that product of the year. Okay, so now see if we can, the text is appearing. Okay, that's appearing. So now for that container, I'm gonna make md, it's the bg going to be transparent and relative, and py going to be 0, and yeah, that's it. Or also I'm gonna make it also mb of 10, just to push it a little bit downward. Okay, that's cool. Now for the div, put a class name width going to be a full, and md width going to be 2x3, and axle I'm gonna make that width of half width of that parent div, and height going to be 80, and I'm gonna make it an absolute. P padding in x-axis going to be 4, md px 0, and from the top it will be 0 right from the 0 flex. And after putting the flex, I'm gonna just make this simple as it is. So it will be flex column item center, or item I'm gonna put as an start, and gonna gap of 6, justify center. Okay, so now I have that one tab only, product of the year. After that particular one, I'm gonna having one more. So let's put another p tag. I'm gonna just pass some of the lorem 20 texts here. Okay, and then after that p tag, I'm gonna having one link from the next link, and this one going to say as that shop now, and this will also interlink of that href of shop. Okay, now see if the three are appearing. Okay, these three are appearing. So now for the h1 tag, let's design it. The text going to be 3 axle, and also for font going to be a semi bold, and also the text going to be prime color. And for the p tag, put some class name. Text going to be base, font going to be normal, text again the prime color, and max width of 600 pixel, and then margin right going to be 4. Let's see what's happening there. Okay, looks cool. Now for the shop now, let's design it a bit. So put a class name, bj going to be a prime color, and the text going to be white, and also text going to be large text and white. We'll give some width and height, or you can give some padding and margin also. Let's try with the width of 180 pixel and height of 50 pixel. It's just combining of the ground. You can put anything you like. Okay, and the hover, it will be the bg going to be a black, and the duration going to be let's put 300. And also font, I want to give a bold font, flex item center, justify center, rounded md. Okay, that looks perfect. So now in this portion, we are right now here, we created the banner, and also we interject all other things. So our home page is done. Okay, so there is one more things we need to interlink to combining those things to create that navbar. Okay, which we're gonna implement also later on. For right now, I'm gonna keep it in that way. So we finish our home page with actual scenario, and we are having all things. So in our next build, what we are going to focus is to create that particular Slack. So we're gonna have a quick view, And after this, like, we're gonna generate all the things here and also those taxes, and then also we are going to implement our all other properties which actually going to be relate on a particular scenario of how actually we're gonna prefetch the data for the shop now, because we need to implement our what you call that, our next authentication. So try to combine this and finish that homepage. For tomorrow we're gonna finish that entire things. Okay, we'll see you next video.